Hello, welcome to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, I want to address a question that I had on Instagram in my DMs. We had a great conversation talking about feeling overwhelmed. They wanted to know what I do when I feel overwhelmed with anything in life. Specifically, we were talking about switching over to a raw vegan diet. So let's dive into some ideas in this video. Thank you again for joining me today here on my YouTube channel. If you like videos like this, please click like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And please don't forget to go check out the plant-based bundle and our 60% off Black Friday sales. Everything is in the description box below. The plant-based bundle is one of the best ways to get loads of our content. We've got 12 pieces of content included in this bundle, which you get the wraps book, the taco book, party food. You're getting holiday menu 1, holiday menu 2, make it raw 2. You're getting our video courses, the nice cream book, and dude food. $460 worth of our content alone for 50 bucks if you buy the bundle. But if you didn't want the bundle, you can still get 60% off any of our ebooks in our e-store with code RAWFOOD60. But all the deals and all the links are in the description box below, so head on down there if anything like that interests you. Now let's chat about feeling overwhelmed. Now, this person was feeling really overwhelmed with all the stuff that they needed to know to go raw. And in reality, raw food is actually very simple. The only reason it feels overwhelming is because it's outside of our comfort zone. Because once it's your reality, it's really easy to do a raw diet. Once it's your habit, once you're used to it, it's easy. But it's overwhelming because it's out of your comfort zone. And when I first went raw, what really helped me, and I made a video about this already, is focusing one day at a time. So when I feel overwhelmed with something new that I'm trying to do, I bring it down to smaller steps and smaller pieces. I focus one day at a time. And if you have to focus one meal at a time, that's where you gotta go. You gotta bring it down so it's broken up into smaller pieces, so you're not seeing the entire picture all at once, because the entire picture can feel really overwhelming for some people. And I'll use the example of raw food recipes. In a lot of raw food recipes that require soaking, in the instructions it says soak your nuts for 8 hours or 6 hours, or do this the night before, freeze your vegetables the night before. And when people see that, all of a sudden they feel like the recipe takes forever because of all this time involved. When in reality, it only takes 10 seconds to soak your nuts, right? It only takes a few minutes to chop some veggies to freeze for the next day. The thing is, we feel overwhelmed because we see all the time that's involved when most of the time is actually just waiting for it to soak or for the dehydrator to go overnight. It's not that much extra time, and you're not sitting there watching it. You're doing other things, right? So the key is planning. If you're feeling overwhelmed with something, start planning. What do you need to do to make it happen? If you see a raw food recipe and it requires you to soak your almonds 8 hours before, then plan your day so 8 hours before you soak your almonds, because it really only takes 10 seconds to do that. But the 8 hours of soak time is going to be really great at dinner time when you make your soaked almond meal or whatever the soaked almonds are in, a dressing or something. So planning it out can really take away a lot of the overwhelm, because most of us feel overwhelmed because we choose in the moment. We don't plan. We are like, oh, well, I'm hungry and I want to have a raw meal. So they open a recipe book and they're like, oh, well, I had to do this and I had to soak these. I had to make my sprouts 3 days ago or whatever. So it's really hard to have something right at the moment unless you're just making a smoothie or a salad with a dressing that's pretty simple. Anything that involves any little extra stuff takes planning. We have to plan it into our day for us to be able to enjoy it at the time we want to enjoy it at without feeling the overwhelm. So again, when I feel overwhelmed with anything new, I look, how can I plan this? How can I plan it into my day so I don't feel overwhelmed with having to do all these little things or whatever? How can I put the little things into my day so that I don't feel the overwhelm? bringing it down into small goals is very, very, very helpful. Another thing that I do when I feel overwhelmed with something is to, number one, take a big, deep breath and realize that I cannot know everything there is to know about the subject that I'm feeling overwhelmed about in one day. And to accept that and to appreciate the fact that I want to learn about these things. So accepting that I can't know everything all at once is very, very, very helpful, but also to take snippets of information or things one little bit at a time. For example, we're not expected to be able to speak a fluent language overnight. It's just not something that we do. We know that we need to start by learning how to say hello. Start with one thing. Don't worry about being able to read novels in that language tomorrow. You're not going to be able to. You need to start slow with small things. And then over time, the more you practice it, the better you get at it, the more you understand, the more comfortable you feel because it's becoming a new habit. So just because you're stepping out of your comfort zone, it doesn't mean that you need to know everything all at once. And remember, perfectionism is the thief of joy. We don't need to be perfect right off the bat. Just start small. Start with a smoothie. You don't have to be 100% raw right away. Start with a smoothie. Once you get breakfast down and you're really good with the smoothie every single day, it's become a new habit, then move into lunch. How can I plan my lunch and how can I make my lunch or dinner, whichever one works best for you? Start with adding a second raw meal into your day and practice new recipes. Try different ones. You may not like some, you may really like others, but practice every single day this new habit that you're trying to build and realizing that you're not going to be perfect right off the bat. It's about progress, and any progress is good progress because it's moving you towards your goals. So those are some tips that I would share about feeling overwhelmed. It can feel really, really scary for some people, and really just moving down into one day. What can I do today to make it work? And then learn a little piece of information and take little things here and there, take small steps, small goals, and work towards it, because eventually one day you'll look back and be like, I'm glad I took those small steps. Because sometimes it takes small steps. We don't need to look at the entire staircase, just the first step in front of us. So thank you so much for joining me for this video. And check out the bundle. It's the best way to get the most of our content for only $50. Link is in the description box below. And if you didn't want the bundle, you can get 60% off any or all of our ebooks and collections with code RAWFOOD60. That link is in the description box below, as well as all the links to all the other cool Black Friday sales that are going on right now. Go check it out before it's gone. Until the next video, I love you all as always, and mwah, fruit on.